Alright.
Then I can, I'll share your thing.
Kita
Wait.
share the link sini kan?
Alright.
Alright.
We are on it. Eh,
Bagi link.
wait. I think I'm losing the interface. So many X buttons. Alright. Sending the link now. Yay. Alright.
Alright.
Cantik.
Kami? Hello? Test. Alright.
We go live now.
1 minute. Okay lah. I think it's best for us to go live. Okay. Alright. Hi guys. Welcome back to Seni XP. I am Jazmi, the moderator for today. Okay, izinkan saya menggunakan dua bahasa dan bercampur macam event rasmi pula kan. Okay, so anyway, today we're going to discuss more on the Cyberpunk game, Cyberpunk 2077. The topic today is people renting dreams. The question of how Nukman is here. Hey, Nukman, how are you? Okay. The people renting dreams, the idea of in the future, the Teknofilia concept, why people want to be in other people's shoes. This will be discussed among us lah. So kita akan go lighter. We're talking about a night city, and then we go in depth lah. So before we venture into the darker side about this topic kan, I would like to explain about the game itself. As in Cyberpunk, I think all of you familiar. Just want to add up that the Cyberpunk game, ramai yang tahu dia macam not polished yet. Ada cakap tak siap, ada cakap rubbish, tapi this is the best thing. The artistic way in perceive apa benda yang tak siap, the high concept art, and at the same time, dia apa kita panggil? There is a potential to be a great game untuk kita experience kan. So I just want to read out about a literature review regarding this Cyberpunk. This Cyberpunk, dia punya overall visual is realism. Okay, realism, as you understand, computer graphic portrays the actuality of the proportion, size, simplification of the human being. So you tengok dekat dia punya game, let's say sekarang Isma tengah main, all the cars, the measurement, the head, the badan, everything real. Macam physical movement real, cuma dia ada implementation of sci-fi punya elements lah. Macam cybernetics, robotics, augmentations and etc. So, we are talking about the illusionism. Last week kita discuss about the Batman Arkham Knight. Kita tahu it's a mix of fantasy components, and then it's not realistic, tapi it's a fantasy genre yang realism. Dan the mix dengan magic, the mix dengan sci-fi. But today kita discuss yang lebih kepada sci-fi sahaja. There's no magic in this. Kita panggil apa? No magic in the game. It's purely science fiction. The environment portrayed in a realistic manner, but it's just an imaginary thing. Some said illusionism is a imagination realism. Tapi ada juga cakap imagination realism adalah surrealism dalam painting lah. But in game, surrealism still been debated lah macam mana rupa dia. Does it really portray the imagination? I mean, you dalam keadaan yang hayal, dream, or is based on imagination? How do you want to see? So, dalam this illusionism, kita ada restricted to the imaginations, okay? Kalau dia real tapi dia imagination, itu dia punya restriction lah. So dia akan involve dengan konsep atau teori yang tak boleh nak explain dengan hari ini punya science discovery. Contohnya lah, contoh macam Cyberpunk, augmentation. Kita cakap, okay, there's a potential human can augment body with the robotics. Tapi hari ini dia masih not mature stage yet. Dia masih experiment, finding potentials. Does it applicable or not? Okay. And after that, we going to discuss about this by Richard Watson tentang dia punya study on megatrends lah. But before that, let us know about our panel hari ini. So I would like to introduce Jawan. Okay, please explain yourself lah.
Alright.
Introduce.
Hi everybody. My name is Jawan. I am a a lecturer from Segi University, Kota Damansara. I used to also teach in one academy. My bidang is into multimedia, animation, new media, emerging media, installations, and these projects. So this is right up my alley. I like this. Besides that, I think most important of all, today, hari ni kita akan bincang Cyberpunk kan. So I'm also a gamer. So
Yeah.
you're breathtaking. You're breath. Those kind of stuff.
Okay, next, Aisha.
Hi. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Aisha Rahman, lecturer at Aswara. I think what you mentioned, Jawan, our interests are pretty much the same in terms of image media, in terms of, I'm particularly interested in extended reality. So, and especially for new media art and also for video games, which is inclusive of new media arts as well.
Oh.
And I'm particularly interested in sci-fi derivative macam biopunk, cyberpunk, and even steampunk, which is a bit off in a way. It's towards the Victorian period sense, but I'm particularly interested in these kind of contexts.
Alright. Oh, cool lah. Okay, how about Isma? Isma, boleh introduce sikit tak? Streamer. Hello, Isma. Test 1, 2.
Hello.
Okay.
Nak bawa kereta lah.
Alah, cannot call lah. Nanti accident weh. Is it Myvi or not? If Myvi can selamat one. Okay. Alright. Isma, I think Isma is Aswara's student. Currently doing game student currently doing his degree kan. Of course lah, degree mana ada diploma. So anyway, okay, let us continue. First of all, I want to talk about the Night City kan. The words cyberpunk, where I derived from the cyberpunk novel. Dia cakap high tech culture but low life. So the Night City ni dia lebih kepada a city of free area, like commercial areas zone, yang di mana is a little involvement of the governance, and then majority of megacorps, like the gigantic corporations and international lah. So I just want to ask Jawan about this Night City lah. What are the several characteristics yang you can explain about Night City?
I think what you said just now is right lah. Because when I look at the concept of Night City, is very, very, very futuristic. I don't think we ever reached there with our current trajectory sekarang. But maybe if there is a World War III, or if there is a big nuclear bomb, or there is, okay, don't say so much, maybe COVID, lagi, I don't know, whatever happened. It's only during COVID that suddenly we changed our technology, that we go online. Online has been around, augmentation has been around. Everybody is bringing prosthetic, doing stuff, but nobody reached Iron Man status yet because we haven't reached that. So Night City, to me, I think the low life thing is very strong. It's very dirty, very gritty kind of feeling. And people are a lot of blood and metal.
Blood and metal.
Awesome. Blood, metal. By organic plus technology. So Night City always feel to me like a place that bertingkat-tingkat, and it's very hard for people to. It's like Kowloon. I don't know how you feel. It's like
Kowloon, yeah,
Kowloon,
Hong Kong,
right?
Yeah.
That whole area is covered, and then the people are staying like jiran macam gila masuk keluar rumah orang semua gila. So it feels very semak samun kind of feeling. So when I was playing it, I was wowed by the city architecture design. Usually you play GTA kan, you jalan terus straight. You go straight here, go there, left, right, pergi go inside the house, tak boleh buka pintu. Bila you masuk Cyberpunk kan, like I want to go there, right? I don't go straight lah. I just go up the stairs, then I walk to the tong sampah, then I go to the toilet. Like that's why the computer cannot render this. It's too many things at one time. That's why I feel about Night City. It's an awesome city to live in, but I don't think I want to be alive during that time. It's just crazy that gila, non-stop.
Point taken on the architecture. And then Aisha, regarding the Night City, we know is a low life, very cramped, and then not enough space lah kan. So in this kind of a punk way in living the city, what do you think about the societal behavior in this sense?
I think in terms of societal behavior, like what Jawa mentioned just now, in terms of people, in terms of their their way of living is different lah. That's for sure compared to us because it's a dystopian future, right?
Yeah.
I think in terms of their hopes and dreams are of course different as well compared to as how we are now. They are in a way governed by something else, you know. They don't have their own free will and whatnot. And in terms of macam everyone is aspiring to upgrade themselves, you know, in terms of like upgrading with cyberwares or in terms of extending towards the transhumanism in your concept lah. Instead of being just a mere human being, you just want to get like additional like cosmetics and whatnot to be a better human being.
Okay.
You want to upgrade with all these cyberwares and whatnot, but you can't even get a haircut.
Okay.
That's true.
Forgot the haircut, man.
Oh my god.
It's
Oh my
either they
gosh.
all botak or it's just prosthetic haircut.
Exactly. You know how I work around the haircut, right? Because after the character selection, right? The whatever semua tu. So after that, I can't change my hair, right? So the way I change my hairstyle is by using bandana. So whenever I wear bandana, it's going to be like flat out instead of having cornrows. Right?
Okay.
Okay.
But I think the most important thing is in terms of transhumanism. Yeah.
Transhumanism. Okay, back to Jawan. I think we understand that they love augmentation. So what do you think about this? You know, when you live in the city and it's a nice, now we don't focus on the nighttime lah. What do you think about the color scheme in this city? Why there's, what are the, you know, the environment? How does it feel? Is it cold or warm? What is your interpretation on that?
Okay, I don't know, just me, you and I are 80s babies, right? Born in the 80s, right? Somehow I have this nostalgia of 80s music, retro futurism, retro looks where you're driving. I like this lah. When I drive MMU gun I like to drive around in Cyberjaya. The light.
Oh, okay, all right. We have the
like,
rhythm, yeah.
You feel like Ryan Gosling. I like that feeling so much that I will just pay money to any game that want to do that. So the art style, yes. As a designer also, we talk about design art and things like that.
Yeah.
So that influenced a lot why I like this whole setting that is there lah. The color, the neon, the red, the purple, the color like Cheng punya color lah. But then I was just hoping why can't they have a radio channel that play synth wave? Right?
Yeah,
like,
synth wave.
Slow, cool saja. Oh, you don't have that, no. Every time you just apa nama dia, band dia,
the Johnny English, yeah.
So yeah, the art style is it's very nice to drive around at night. It's very beautiful. City, just the rendering is just beautiful for that. But unfortunately, sorry, PS4 players. Master Race.
PC Master Race. Yeah. All right, Aisha, what do you think about the ads and banner during the night? What do you think about the design?
Design of the banners, Okay, I think what Jawan mentioned is just now really spot on in terms of the color scheme, the neon lighting, and then in terms of like the CMYK, RGB, whatnot, right? I think in terms of whatever context is within the billboard, it's the portrayal of the society at the time. So if you look at, I think one is the all foods, is it?
What?
The all foods advertisement. Yeah. And then you can also, the reason why I got into Cyberpunk 2077 is because my favorite artist of all time is Grimes. Right? So Grimes is actually one of the character in Cyberpunk. So she's actually Lizzy Wizzy. Right. And then if we look at the TV, in the elevator, right? There's a TV screen. Right?
Yeah.
So you can see, you can actually see like the backstory of it in a way. So there was like an interview session with Lizzy Wizzy. So she was saying about how she's rising up from being like a performance artist and whatnot, and then she was trying to make her final act of being a human being into upgrading herself like another transhumanist punya form lah. So I think in terms of the design, of course, the color usage would be like neon lighting and whatnot, and then the context would be really related to that sort of passion and desires. I remember one design of the poster. It's like a it's not a design for like doll punya design. It's actually a perfume. I think it's perfume design. So it's like right in your face, right? It's really different compared to the design that we have now. Like everything else is like family friendly. It's really different.
Okay.
Just to echo what she says about the advertisement in the game, I think it is very hyper sexualized.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You don't see. I mean, America. I think it's a satire of America, lah.
Yep.
70 years later, and guns and free will and all whatever you want to do, all this freedom of speech and things, and then corporations just become Apple become giant big, Disney become giant big. Arasaka already lah. Okay.
Disney Arasaka.
Maybe not.
Elon Musk.
Oh man,
One day
Arasaka is
Mickey Mouse-
Disney, okay?
One day Mickey Mouse will be selling military weapons.
Now I know where
I
Disney.
don't know. Just
Now I know why Mandalorian is separate in the Disney Plus. It's part of Arasaka plan.
Plus is taking over your world.
Okay, I just want to do shout out. Hello Fakri, hello Ala Fikri and Lukman. Thank you for watching the channel. Yay! Okay. All right. I like the interesting thing about the design when you portray you say about the sexualized the content, kan. I think there's a debate going on regarding the LGBTQIA+. I mean, so complex terms. They are trying to portray the enhancement of transgender, while one of the advert, right? Yeah, they try to breach the gender identity because for them, they don't decide the gender, but the augmentation decide who they want to be, rather than the nature being of themselves. So it comes back to the questions that what are they dreaming actually? As you mentioned, like they want to become so individual. They want to become the top. Even we understand from the low life, they want to become in a very top level in society. But the thing is, the question is why they want to do that, and then kenapa dia nak jadi macam tu? I mean, if they have that, what they want to do. So I'm open up to this discussion. I think I'm going up to starting from Aisyah lah. Kenapa perlunya dia buat augmentation untuk jadi high, and at the same on corporate macam dia support. Does that reflect to our society?
Okay, I really like the fact that you mentioned about the gender identity too, because I think that is one thing that if you look at the mainstream media right now, right, it's diversity, inclusion, and representation. Is what the media is trying to push lah, and that is indeed a beautiful thing, right? So we often mistaken sex and gender are the same thing and whatnot lah, but at the end of the day, of this age and moment, we have the people yang non-binary or even whatnot lah. So I think the game itself, right, is actually a hyper. Nak guna juga perkataan hyper. Hyper portrayal.
The boost.
Of the situation that we have now lah. And that is just one thing of it. And in terms of low life, so that is one thing. Another one is not low life lah, marginalized community, I think.
Okay.
So for example, macam perhaps the marginalized community, probably they want to be something more than how they are portrayed within the game. So maybe that is just like a dramatic take on it in a way, I guess. I think the thing about dystopian punya concept is that most of the time marginalized communities and underrepresented communities are often dramatized.
Okay.
Right? In a way. So yeah, that's just my take on it lah.
Okay. Okay. I understand. Okay. Thank you for the feedback. How about you, Jawan?
I think it's innate inside kita punya jiwa as human, and we want to be different sometimes. Between me and my brother, me and my siblings, me and my friends, I want to stand out. So there's a lot of this. I think when you're talking about physical augmentations of body and stuff, nowadays, what's the difference? Some people will change your life. You wear green eyelens or maybe you dress up differently. Maybe you wear earrings. I think that these things are or just an extension. And then when people become a little bit more futuristic, they want to upgrade. So I don't like it, I change lah. Plastic surgery is it's a thing, right? And so instead of being so not only being invasive of your body, now you augment it. I think it can happen. It's just that, tapi sekarang kan, people are still very. I think that if somebody were to augment himself, let's say I want to cut off my hand and put in a robot hand, everybody will look at you weird in our society now. I'll still think that, hey, what the heck are you doing? But we need, and the day we were saying, right, you need an anjakan paradigma.
Anjakan paradigma. Wow.
Okay.
To be able to reach to that point where I don't care, I can take out half my face and put in a new face in. I can change my organs and change it to another organ to be accepted. And in Night City, nobody will, I mean, they created that word, but nobody is going to say, hey, you lucky ke perempuan. Nobody going to say that because it's acceptable that you are anything that you want. But for us, our society to reach that, I think that it will be something, there will be something that make us, then only we become there. We cannot just overnight become there.
I think, agree. I think that's a concept of macam lagu Gangnam Style kan. I mean, the young people just very, enthusiastic and then passionate to build themselves a career, look themselves like a success, and join a group of society to try to kita panggil apa? Try to distinction. Because tadi you mentioned about the variations of society kan. So kita ada yang low life, mid life dengan the highlight or high society. But if this happen, now kita dah tinggal, the barrier is just low life and the high society. So it seems like the golongan B40 or the mid income players are not exist in this town because of the corporations lah. So back to the drawing board here, I want to show you that this actually predicted by the Richard Watson. He mentioned at first we're talking about individualism and then mega corporation of tribalism. Okay. This is my interpretation lah. If we live in the tribalism, we must belong to some group of people or some society if we want to protect, because the megacorp is enhancing the widespread privatization of public spaces. Okay, what does it mean in that sense kan? In my interpretation that macam ni lah, macam Night City lah. It's basically it's a public space, and then all the megacorp datang and then they conquer all the places, and then they have a mega corporation war, and then semua suffer, and then suddenly all the people the B40 M40 the middle income people, they become low life, and then in order for you to climb to the high society, you must sacrifice yourself, you must do all the necessary things in order to become the high life punya society lah. So I just want to ask you about how in this world kan, I'm asking about, let's say Bill Gates ataupun the owner of the Epic Unreal Tournament games trying to purchase lands or huge lands in the US. Do you think this is going to happen soon, or is just concept or investment? What do you think, Jawin?
Are you talking about the Unreal situation or
the reality of privatization of public spaces?
I think we are reaching it a little bit. Look at what Elon Musk is doing. I mean, governments can only do that much. Right now, governments are also, a lot of things are privatized. Companies are becoming more powerful than governments. They have a say. I mean, just look at Tony Stark. But I mean, Tony Stark is fiction, but Elon Musk become Tony Stark. We will start to kowtow. We will start to respect a figure which is called Elon Musk, which is Tony Stark. And we will forget that actually we are under authority of a government. The government macam tak ada kuasa dah. So these things could happen lah. It's just need a little bit more push, and then to show that governments cannot do their job. I mean, look at America now. I'm just saying lah. I'm not offending anybody, I hope.
Yeah.
Look at what the government in America, and it's so divided. Maybe they can't even stand between the Reds and the Blues, the Democrats and the Republicans.
Yeah.
Between industrialists that will push the whole. So it could happen, no? Maybe not in Asian countries yet, because we are still quite a lot of good what you call this values and stuff like that. So it will be a bit different in different places. But let's say high industry countries like Japan, where our comes from, it could happen. they don't believe in their government anymore. They believe more. But Asian countries are usually they're more subservient to their governments. So I would expect something like Night City or something like that to start around or open market, open free kind of marketplace. Not China. China
Okay.
government always will be there.
Okay, all right, understand. Okay, Aisha, how I know the interpretation here is symbolizes cash is king. Does it apply in Night City? What do you think? Again, it reflects back to the privatization and public space lah.
Hold on, let me check. Cash is king. Hold on. Actually, when I'm looking at the stream, my stream is a bit delayed. So hold on. Let me check dekat. Oh, I can't see any. All right.
Is it the mega green technology, that one?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, does money important in this city or is just reputation or image?
Okay.
Money.
It's money. It's eddies. Are the eddies important? I think important in the sense that if you want to upgrade yourself lah, if you want to be able to double jump, you need a lot of eddies lah, that's for sure. Right? So I think it's important. But if you look at the backstory of it, of course it's important. We look at it from a capitalistic punya manner lah. So from Arasaka Corporation, in terms of the military, everything has been capitalized. I think it's important for these people. For the capitalistic punya backstory of it lah. But if we are looking at the different the society, the citizen, maybe it's in a way it's a similar concept because they are pushed to succumbing to that notion that they need eddies to survive in a way. If not, maybe whatnot is something like that lah. Or maybe I think that's just the case lah. Maybe in a way it's important.
Okay. All right. Now we're back to the game, the first act, right? The first chapter or the first act where V has started from the bar because he wants to find money, kan? And then he just want to do.
He or she.
Yeah.
He or she. The person. V. Okay. V want to find doing extra jobs by curi kereta and then hijacking and then all this sort of stuff lah. And then he caught up. Been planned with somebody and then they put ada extra job and even extra job and more complex con job lah, so to speak. The thing is, we know V is a kind of apa kita panggil the pro criminal. I don't know what's the name, what's the terms in that lah. And he also quite good in the cyberware kan. That's a reflect back to the first chapter. So what can we learn from the first chapter kan? What can we learn about V? Who is V actually?
When they promised us the game a few years ago, we watched E3 and all the things. I was expecting V to be whoever you want to be lah.
Yeah.
But as we play the game and I know the limitations that CD Projekt Red had and stuff like that. It became a very linear kind of story. Whatever you want to be is whatever you want to kill lah. That's all. But you can't even change your hair.
Yeah.
You beli baju pun, then your baju look polok like what the heck? Tak punya baju, kasut, selipar, what the heck? Tak betul kan?
Alright.
Yeah. So it doesn't, I don't know lah. It just, yeah. What about you, Aisha?
I think V is, of course, for myself, because when I first played the game, I chose the narrative of being a street kid, right?
Oh, okay.
But then after that, I was like, okay, maybe I just want to find something a bit more relatable in some sort of way. Because when I started playing as a street kid, and I'm like, okay, now I can see why people are saying, this is similar to GTA. Just one part of it, lah. Right? And then I changed it to Corpo. So
okay.
I think V is what we make of V.
Okay.
Right? Of course, V is a merc, it's a mercenary. But we can see that V is actually a good friend to Jackie in a way. And along the way, whatever he or she or he would definitely seek for advice from Jackie at the same time, right?
Yeah.
And in a way, V has whatever choices that we make, of course, it depends on us. So I think however we make of it, it's how we make of it lah. But overall, like memanglah dia merc kan. Yeah.
Yeah.
One more thing. I think one thing one thing about V is that I think not us lah, but some people probably played the game and then they're trying to romance certain kind of character, you know. How do you get, you know, like with Judy or with Panam or with whoever, right?
Yeah.
So that is interesting in a way lah, because when you're looking at Judy, right? Judy has a certain kind of Judy is not interested in the male character. Right? Panam would probably be interested in the male character. So it's something that is interesting to see it as well. It's how we make of it.
Yes. And you go to the forums, you see those guys are super salty. You didn't tell me I cannot romance Judy as a guy.
Exactly.
Okay. Our instant gratification.
Download the mod.
You can download the mods, right? Oh gosh. Okay, and then we reflect back to the band guy, the Johnny Silverhand. What you can tell me about the Johnny Silverhand? Why he's so in depth into the artistic and they want to do the rebellion? Is he like the typical punk in this story, or what is your perceive, Jawan?
We are moving to spoiler territory. That's why I want to touch on it, but I don't know whether we can, because there's Black Mirror and stuff happening there.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to? Then I will
just Johnny lah. Just talk about Johnny lah.
I think Johnny is he's a rocker lah. He is 2019, 2020. He's a rocker. He played this chapter 1 / starting of chapter 2 kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there is a reason why he went to attack and what he does, and it's a bit spoiler stuff, but he also believes in a certain thing called love.
Okay lah.
The thing that will push him to do something is the power of love.
Yeah, like the artist lah. If you're passionate into something, just like go ahead for it. Like
passion for something or someone will push you to do things that you never thought you would ever do. So I don't think he's a typical hacker technology kind of guy. He just minum and play guitar and then curse and just every day just do whatever he wants. But something pushed him to do it lah. So there's a good story behind it lah. I think because I don't think it's made for the game. Hand was made back in Mike Pondsmith. He added it into his narrative in the Cyberpunk game. Right? So he has been quite established already, right? And everybody who played that game know why is he like this. It's just for players the first time playing Cyberpunk 2077, they'll be like, who's this guy? What is Keanu Reeves doing here? Is he new?
Keanu Reeves made the game like really mainstream. Like of course mainstream lah, but
yeah. How about you, Aisha? Any thoughts?
I think Johnny Silverhand is just a person looking for purpose in life, right?
Like typical rock star.
You know what? Tak ada matlamat, kita ada purpose. Betul lah purpose. Maybe he was doing fine and dandy as a rock star and everything, but because of the environment around him as well, it just kind of frustrated him in a way lah. So instead of taking it out in lyrics or in music, he tried to take down the government.
I see.
So,
no, not government, Arasaka.
Yeah, Arasaka, exactly.
Like the Rage Against the Machine lah.
What you say? Wow.
That's just the case lah. So he's so full of hate and whatnot. So maybe he has his own personal issues as well, trying to vent it through.
Yeah.
All right, interesting. And then
actually, he could have died already lah. I don't know why they keep him alive. And now come back lah.
Spoiler.
Yeah. Okay. Enough about V and then Johnny lah. And then we talk about the fashion. I think the fashion, because I don't know how to describe the fashion. I mean, we see a very as you mentioned lah, all the baju cantik and then tight pants and slipper. I was like, what? What I trying to break here? What trying to be proud of? Can you Aisha, maybe you have some thoughts on that lah.
I think, okay, if we look at GTA. Why? Okay, why GTA lah? Sebab orang compare GTA with Cyberpunk, even though it's not really that similar, right?
Yeah.
I think GTA is a satirical context
Mm-hmm.
of the society,
Uh-huh.
right? But of course, Cyberpunk ni, it comes from, it has its own, backstory to it lah. And it comes, it's derived from the Cyberpunk game, right? A tabletop game, actually. So I think in terms of the style, of course, it's very futuristic oriented in a way. It's trying to combine lah the futuristic content in terms of the color palette, but at the same time trying to retain our sense of realism in a way. So if it's too futuristic to the point that when you play the game, it's like, oh, it's like super duper dah really really different from our reality. So it's trying to maintain that realism that we have now.
Okay.
I think that's the concept lah.
Okay.
I enjoy reading the interactive PDF. I bought the game, so I was reading their art style and the concept of all the. Because I think what I love is people building worlds, narrative worlds and everything. So I mean, how can you think of all these things? Then I realized that it's all just what we have now, just cabang just get more and more crazy things. I mean, you get your Hispanics, you got your Asian, you get your Japanese. Yakuza, but now it's called Tiger Claws and things like that.
Tiger Claw,
really shocked me is the Maelstrom.
Yeah.
The Maelstrom, like, wow, that one is totally, they won't care. They will just take out their eyeball and everything and change it. I'm like, after fashion though.
Yes.
Which mother would love the son's face like this? This fashion is completely, I cannot imagine somebody will fall in love with that. But people, gila technology, like, what's the word?
Teknofilia. Yeah. Gila punya.
Technology so much, you will just fall in love with it, and I don't mind looking like a robot anymore. They half like Robocop whatever, cyborg. I mean, last week just watched it. Yeah.
I mean,
people, it's a whole different kind of fashion there, which I don't see us becoming anytime soon.
Yeah, because because I see the game and then related to the fashion show, it's like, if they calling about transhuman, post of human being, and then the possibility is there lah. Because I still can remember in the 90s and the 80s, normally we imagine Cyberpunk is all the very jumpsuit, the baju ketat, macam the Ghost in the Shell, the story there. Yeah. I mean, these are the things what I imagine. But somehow in Cyberpunk, they're like, ambil kau. I don't care. Like, you go to that bundle, you come out, pakai, that's it. Ultimately.
Yeah. You pergi pasar, that's your suit.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also because last time in 70s, you got your futurism, 80s, you got futurism, 90s, you got, so you back to the future, punya futurism, tak sama.
Yeah.
You watch Robocop, also kind of cyberpunk, but a bit lah. But then it haven't reached now because we've got our technology so advanced, right? We can add like Iron Man stuff lah. Last time, I don't think they can think until so deep lah. Because our current technology, we don't think so far yet. So every time push. So this current game, 2077, I think is the imagination of our time. 2020s punya idea. 2030s, I'm sure somebody will think of another kind of future. Maybe the future is all about, I don't know, flying cow lah, or what, I don't know what's gonna happen. It will be different lah.
Yeah, because I noticed in Cyberpunk game, there's only game that experiment with the textile materials on the fashion, where you can see a lot of the mapping lah, the texture mapping lah. UV mapping is different. All the technology is like, hey, that shirt is different on that shirt, and then different kind of technology. That's what I can see as a layman punya mata lah kan. So I just want to do a shout out for Nursara Kristina Maga Akmal, Shiroi Takashi. Thank you very much for watching. Hello. Alright, now we continue. We were talking about the public, right? The mass. Now we're talking about the corporations. Why the corporation wear very, suitable, like in like macam kita lah, macam okay, kita kena pakai black, all black, and then that's it, just ikat rambut sikit just to portray a little bit of identity, and the rest is like, I'm from this tribe. Okay, can you explain, Jawan?
No lah. I think identity is a very important thing for humans. I think when we talk about this now lah. So whether you are in a corporation or in a group, the identity is very, very, very strong. You need to. Sorry, what's your question again?
Missing out,
Yeah,
I'm watching the live stream, so I'm like,
the mega corp, Arasaka,
Why
right?
Arasaka?
If we see Arasaka, it's just one template Arasaka people. It's like if we see penguins lah, the people who wear black suit and tie, we know that's from the corporate sector lah. But Arasaka is maintaining that. Oops. All right. What do you think is that?
I think for
The
a
fashion.
company to maintain the identity, they have to lah. Semua kena pakai macam tu lah. They have to follow lah. But in between, there will be some fringe fellas who don't want to follow one lah. Just like when you go to work, you see one fella don't want to dress up the same lah. It's the same lah. Yes, they are, because I think it's also because it's a game, so they can do variations too much. They have to use the model, the 3D model, and then they don't want to model so many things. But I'm one thing I learned,
Hey, good idea.
I learned about playing tabletop games, right? Recently, I got into Dungeons and Dragons. We've been playing as in tabletop, not online game, but playing online tabletop game. I realized that everything you think about elf, you think of Gimli. You think of Legolas, and then dwarf, you think of Gimli. Actually, there are so many things out there. Why can't you be a dwarf that has a eyeliner who looks like Jack Sparrow, who wants to... I think in this city, there are actually a lot of things. And Arasaka, inside, I'm sure there are a lot of different people dressing up as different ways as well. But because the game cannot render too many characters, so even when you play the game also, you can be anything you want to be. Right? So
yeah.
I don't think it's uniform lah. But as to join, if you're Aska, you have to be uniform. You're guard, you have to be uniform. Not siapa kau? Saya dari Arasaka. Oh, okay. Then we need the identity lah.
Okay, Aisha, what do you think about the fashion lah? Again, comparing Arasaka, Militech, and the others lah. What do you think?
Okay, I think it's all about a matter of freedom of expression lah. If you look at I think I really agree with Jawan lah in terms of the NPCs, and then you have so many characters within the game. Of course, it's gonna take time, and they just uniform it, everyone uniform. But I think at the same time, it's like a symbolization of conformity in a way, because these people, like the Militech, you can see that they are wearing their own not jumpsuit. They're wearing their own, they have their own color palette, like dark color palette. But if you look like people from the street, of course they'll be wearing something different in a way. Like in terms of the color palette, it's also different. So it's just a matter of how the uniformity is basically to symbolize the conformity at the same time. When they conform so much to the point that one day they just like, oh, I can't conform anymore. I just want to be myself. I'm just gonna quit being a corpo. Tiba-tiba quit being a corpo. Or why not? They just wanna, be like B, contohnya lah.
Okay.
Dia pakai corpo, tapi by end of not even chapter 1 dia tak nak pakai lah.
Yeah, exactly.
But it still looks good lah as a set costume. It looks nice. I like. Alangkah baiknya kalau stats dia bagus sikit.
Okay, because in this my literature, I did wrote something that mentioned about recognition and familiarity. Because of we human being, we process information. If too many cluttered information, I imagine the fashion is like very cluttered, and it's like honestly tak ada uniformity. You tak boleh nak confirm, you tak boleh nak recognize, you tak boleh nak perceive it in a very fast way. Like snap a finger, you tahu, oh, that is that guy. It's a brand of that guy. So I think in this literature it mentioned if you are easy to recognize according to the silhouette, I mean the shape and the silhouette of the person, and then number 2 is the color lah. Macam you mentioned lah, Arasaka maybe probably black, and then orang lain dia ada pakai dia punya mix of green and stuff lah. So these two helps in terms of game design ke or branding ke apa ke, it really helps us to recognize things even faster if you make yourself clearly and uniformly appear in the Megacorps punya structure. So I just want to do shout out to hi Ain Shakila, Carol Ilfan, Azri Putra, Dauzak, and the rest. Yeah. There's some say siapa ni cakap dia suruh buat wikang. Azli said suruh buat wikang ah. I don't know. Okay. Kau can do wikang ah. All right. Okay, Shiro Takashi as the punk aspect of Cyberpunk. Okay, tak apa, itu been answered that early. Okay, now while we are waiting for Other to ask questions, and we have about 15 minutes to go. While waiting for Other to ask question, why I need to throw another last question lah. This is related to the city, the corporation. I do understand the city is emphasizing the totalitarian, macam Hitler, dia nak brand diri dia. I'm present here, nobody can change. Nobody can macam branding lah, macam Apple, all these fanboys and etc. lah. So just nak tanya lah. I mean, in your perspective, how does this capitalism and mega corporations can not to say destruct, by depopulate the mind of the society? Susah ke?
I think they since they are so powerful in the society, right? Okay, sorry. I think since they're so powerful in the society, they can dictate what the society consume. That
Okay.
I think every day you drive, let's say you're driving at DP kan, every day you nampak, sekarang apa you nampak, to me every day I go to work, I see Blackpink. Every day.
Oh my. Which highway did you take?
No, I mean the Blackpink is in the
The Blackpink, yeah.
Black Black.
Ah,
Black Black ni dah lama. I have done projects with students with Black dah lama. Sekarang Blackpink pula. So what it's very powerful, no? It's subconsciously telling you go and drink. So Arasaka and all these advertisements there, they are very, very strong. It can really, really, really control the mindset of the people there. And since you're talking about who they worship or some of them, I think the name you were talking about was the father, right? Saburo Arasaka.
Saburo. The atuk. Yeah.
Anthony Subarashi. Okay, anyway, this guy, when I was seeing him, I was like, how come he's still alive? I thought I've been reading about him since the 70s or 80s. And then as the game progressed, you know why he's still alive. And then like, what the heck? And maybe transhumanism, not even adding hands or body parts to yourself, but now you have to gain mortality. It's just crazy. So if these kind of people are allowed to survive, then habis lah kita punya society lah. We have to keep on kowtow to this guy. And he never die. There should always be a reset. I mean, government, there should be a reset. America, every maximum 8 years. Right? Donald Trump, maximum 4 years. Something like that. There should be a reset. But
Okay.
it's just a Hitler that never dies. You mati lah in your society now.
Okay. For nationalism perspective, probably you'll sustainably be there. But for society perspective, it's freedom and
The government
liberty.
is good,
Liberty perspective die way. So how about in your perspective, Aisha?
okay, I think in terms of I remember there was this one street, I can't remember the name of the street lah, tapi dia during the mission Automatic Love, I think. So there was like this one statue, right? In the streets, there was one statue. How do I describe this statue? Because it's something a bit symbolical lah, in a way. And on my way there, I could see like an NPC, like a monk NPC, right? You meet a lot of monk NPC, right? So that's basically like some sort of like a symbolization of the context as well. Like people are looking for their sole purpose in life, and then lepas tu they are put in this sort of like environment, like there you are. You just make whatever that you can out of this environment, right? So I think that is the case. I think in terms of we often find something that we not look for, but something that govern us in a way. I think for that sort of context. I think lah. This is a pretty big brain punya topic, and I was actually kind of spacing out when I was looking at Isma punya. and I was like so into tengok di tengah dan
Okay.
I'm not sure if I answered it correctly, but
Because-
I answered it correctly.
Yeah, and there's no right and wrong, kan. So it's just a more like concept, because I see this and it's dunia technology like Apple, I mean Amazon, all these mega billionaire punya orang kan, Elon Musk, not just one of the name a few. I mean these people are trying to build their mega corporations. So
Yes.
things are first we've seen it's a very motivational, very success story, inspiring. We want to become like that, but we know when we are on top, easily they eliminate us lah. That's the reality of it lah. I mean, you tak boleh unless you are being backed by some super mega corp like like Alibaba lah. I mean, Jack Ma, I mean funded by their national trust fund kan. So they can't sustain. And then the people is like highly motivated to go for that. But the most worried thing, you are trying to say something?
That's okay. Go on.
Yeah, the most important thing, because if this happen, and then I mean in Cyberpunk they're starting to have a war because lack of resources, buying the influence of the people, try to sabotage. Not war like civil war, is more towards the espionage movement, macam tu lah. Dia semua buat sikit-sikit cyberware inside there, macam, I mean, you know the rest of the story of Cyberpunk lah. So that is the thing. Try to understand how does totalitarian in this megacorp relates, and try to depopularize meaning they control the freedom. Because tadi kita mention lah in the earlier discussion, kita cakap diorang semua in very low life try to rely on their tribe which they belong to. So this going back to the summary lah. So anyway, how kita ada satu input dari sini. Okay, Takeshi is mentioning about, I think from society's point of view, they are depressed about their livings, having to work to achieve money and success. So they spend a lot on entertainment to retain their sanity. So companies take advantage of this fact to suck out more of their money. Itu memang kita punya credit card module lah.
Capitalist world lah. What to do?
Buy. You gain this, you gain that, and then buy some more. Oh, some more.
Then you need to pay a PTPTN. Then habis.
Ayo.
You tak hutang gila.
Oh gosh.
But to be happy, you want to buy. So it's what's it called? Purchase and what's that called? Therapy. Shopping.
Therapy. Escapism.
Shopee, Lazada. Revenge. I don't really know. Revenge buying is happening very strongly, right? Cannot go out buy revenge buy now.
Yeah, you buy one thing and then you're suggested other things like
Yes.
thing. And then you feel like, oh my gosh, I want to buy this. I shouldn't. And then you recommended another thing.
And the same thing with the vehicles in the game.
Yeah.
When I see the motorbike, aku nak.
Yes.
I tried to curi masuk garage. Tak ada garage ke? I'm like,
They need to call the press H. They need to call. But I think the bike that I wanted to buy is the Akira. The Akira bike lah. That is like.
Akira bike.
Yeah. It's like dream.
I got my Akira bike. Habis like merayau.
You feel like you are super cool, man. Your Akira bike on the street alone holding samurai sword, like, hey, katana. That's it, man.
Katana.
Wow, crazy, man. That moment that you feel. I don't know. That is how I feel. How about you guys?
It's a dream. It's a dream that came true lah, in a way lah. All these Akira, all those what you call Blade Runner, all these things are coming true. You can finally play it. It's just that technology cannot reach it right now.
Yeah.
The graphic card, all those things. I think it's a game way over promise. Yes.
Yeah.
Look at it like the student's assignment lah. Promise tak habis lah. As a cikgu, as a client, I won't let him pass. Example lah. But what to do? I think if we read a bit of sorry if I can talk a little bit terpesong on their.
It's okay, no problem. Go ahead.
I think most of us have read also lah. If you peka to Cyberpunk punya story, they actually wanted to make a RPG game.
Okay.
Tapi ada orang dalam tu kata we should do GTA.
I see.
Tapi designer dia berapa peratus saja of GTA. GTA takes so many people and years of research, and they didn't start with GTA 5. They started with GTA 3. Kalau GTA 3 rendering cacat, correct. Modeling macam Cybertruck.
Cybertruck, aduh.
They have years of experience in different. So some people don't understand. I want this. I think for me, I come from a point of view that I try to forgive because I try to forgive because I'm an educator, not because I'm also a consumer of video game. So I only pay money if you give me something that's good, for example lah. But as an educator, I give chance because sudah ni dia dah capai maximum dia dah bagilah dia. For example lah. So I know CD Projekt Red are not con men.
Yeah.
I talked to some game company before. I think just a shout out Streamline Studios. Thank you for coming in. So, they were telling me about how they met with CD Projekt Red. CD Projekt Red in Poland kan, dia punya duit dengan Malaysia duit 1-to-1 tau.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Nearly up to $1 to $1.05 ke apa lah. Lebih kurang RM dengan kita krona dia lebih kurang. And they are very humble group of people. They are not macam Activision besar-besar. So they have a lot of good ideas, a lot of good things. It's just that maybe they sometimes pride lah. I can do it. I will tell the world I can do it. But when they promise come out, tak habis. So sometimes I feel, you don't promise so much. Next time, don't promise so much. Or take your time and do it. But not everybody's going to be so forgiving to you because not everybody lecturer like you. I'm still on the forums every day. I just see what they talk about. Some people just masuk forum just to say I don't like the game. Then why you come to the forum?
Okay.
They're just looking for a purpose in life.
This Johnny, you masuk sana. Yours.
That's it. Smash the guitar then go off. Yeah, I think I once I see the trailer, I try to understand why they make I follow the Cyberpunk model, the game and the novel, everything lah. But this time around, they portray it in a very hyper-realism way, as you mentioned lah. He cannot render it very on the PC Master Race lah. And then again, try to understand the concept lah. I mean, I
think it should be a GTA game. It should be an RPG game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you played Deus Ex.
Deus Ex, more headache way.
Yeah, it has so many things, but they limit it. They control the game by just making it that area. You cannot open the world.
Yeah.
Control you lah, a little bit lah.
Yeah, but the gadgets and superpowers, like, I don't know. I think not enough keyboard lah. Crazy way.
Too many things.
Too many things. Alright, okay. Azli Putra mentioned here, I like how Cyberpunk futuristic is not too futuristic sci-fi like Star Wars. Yeah, not too up to the space race. Alright, and then, Shiro Takashi mentioned about when they planned this, GTA 5 was the best game at the time, so it's understandable they wanted to follow that formula. Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, we are about to end of the session. I'm not sure. We have 4 minutes left. So, do you have anything in mind you would like to share with the group?
Can I add something in terms of the thing you mentioned about the totalitarian tadi?
Yeah.
When I was spacing out,
when I was spacing out, in a deep break, mind dance or whatever.
Mind dance punya mood. So, I think that one can. For the time being, whatever that we have now is actually going towards that sort of direction, right? If you look at again, Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk is developing NeuroX, is it? If that's the name, if I'm not mistaken, NeuroX. So you can actually hack your brain. You need to have hack a lot of money lah. You can hack your brain, and then it's basically used to treat dementia, right? But I think that is something that is progressing towards that. And of course, looking at Elon Musk punya backstory and whatnot, it's everything else is revolving around that, sci-fi oriented future in a way. And by the way, Elon Musk is actually the husband of Grimes, which is funny because years back, Grimes, I mean, who would have thought like Elon Musk would be with Grimes, and then vice versa, whatnot. I mean, in a way, they are riding on the same wavelength lah. So I think, I think we are definitely going towards that direction. It's just a matter of how we actually take control of our own will.
Yeah lah, because if you understand, I get the idea, but if us as society and the NGO and the government and the people around the UN, United Nations, the people who govern the equality or insecurity of the people not to take over by the megacorp, I think it's okay. But somehow our mind is changing towards supporting megacorp. That is the really crucial things that we need to look into lah. Because nowadays we all of us inspire like, oh, Elon Musk, number one, Last time Muhammad Gandhi like very philosophical kan. Other than the success story of an entrepreneur kan.
If you support Apple, you are part of the blame.
Oops. Fat boy. Okay. Yeah, joking. We also
Sue me, Disney, please.
so Disney, don't be Arasaka, okay? Okay, that is the title for tonight. Is Disney Arasaka?
Arasaka.
All right. Aisha, you wanted to I would like to add something before we end the session?
I think that's about it lah on my end. But I'm really excited about this topic. I think it's again it's so closely related to our reality as well.
Yeah.
I'm actually interested. I haven't read Necromancer by William Gibson, right?
Okay.
So that was basically one of the things that, of course, it kind of inspired Cyberpunk punya context in a way lah. But I think probably that would be this interesting discussion as well, like, in terms of looking into the literature that inspired all these, video games at the same time. Yeah.
I got a feedback from Jean-Paul Duque. I think Cyberpunk as a genre displays
Hello, GP.
this fetish. He mentioned that genre displays this fetishization of extreme individualism that can only take place in sort of hyper-capitalist dystopia. Street cybernetics could be seen as the logical extension of current counterculture body mods like piercings and tattoos. But who wants to rebel against it? Against a moderate socialist democracy? One reason Cyberpunk and Star Trek aren't a good fit. It's a lengthy one, but yeah, I think we got the meaning of the idea of fetishization of extreme individualism. Yeah, we exaggerated ourselves. To whom exactly? Is it we're going back to the idea? Are we belong to a tribe, megacorp, or we just want to express our thoughts freely within the low life structure? So yeah. Again,
Jean-Paul made a very good point there. I mean, comparing it with Star Trek Utopia, right?
Yeah.
I think if for our trajectory in for our real world, not alternate world, whatever, I think we are reaching more cyberpunk than ever reaching it to Star Trek. We will never reach a Star Trek where money is not a problem.
Yes.
Definitely.
So capitalism will still be there. Peace.
Yeah.
Good one. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I think we have reached at the end of the session. Thank you everyone for watching us discussing Jibber Jabber, as Aisha mentioned during the series.
Jibber Jabber pseudo intellectual
During at night until 10 o'clock during the night time. Thanks for listening to us. All right, guys. Thanks. Bye. Hope we end the video. Anything, you just email to Aisha. She will answer everything. Bye. Giving all the giving all the responsibility to her. Again. All right. Cool, guys. Okay. Thank you. Isma, are you still there? Driving car, like boosting all the cars. Semua belasa je kereta kan.
Drive safe.
Drive safely, don't drink and drive. If you want to drink, please drive a Myvi. Confirm selamat.
Oh my god.
Don't drink and drive.
Drive Myvi, okay? Okay, bye. See ya, guys. Let us end this stream.
Alright. Okay, thank you.
Alright.